Right here, icon.
Don't be shy.
Icon.
Don't be shy.
Okay. We should probably have you up here. Come on up. That's okay. Come on up. I didn't.
Come on, come
Yeah.
on. You got it, bro.
I didn't.
Come on. You do radio TV. You can handle this, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on
You
up.
can handle this.
If y'all want to sit, you're more than, y'all want to sit down? Okay. So I told these guys I was gonna send them some questions, and I never did. I lied to them. So you're as prepared as they are,
Oh, yeah.
okay?
Oh.
Yeah. And Anna, is that it? Anna, did I say that right? Okay, are you brand new to real estate? No? How long have you been doing it? 6 years, okay. You're brand new to the ACE team, correct? How did you meet these guys?
I met them through Peter Realty, and Oak Brokerage. That's where I met Charlie and
Okay, excellent. So today we're gonna interview some stars. I'm getting horrible feedback there, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna interview some icons. You know what icon is?
Yeah, it's like maybe some of the criminal patterns.
Yeah, yeah. I like to think of it as they become like serious owners of the company. Because Glenn Sanford says, here's $16,000 in stock. How cool is that? Yeah, because stock is like, you're part owner of the company at this point. And stock goes up in price. And so, I mean, talk about a gift that keeps giving. That's just, I think we should all be going for that. I mean, free stock. Any other icons in here besides these three folks right here? No? Okay, Lucia?
Not yet.
Not yet?
345.
Oh, Calvin's on the commercial side, yeah. So this is for everybody at a distance. It's not so people can hear you in this room. It's just for everybody. So I'm gonna ask them some questions, and then if y'all have questions you want to ask them, just throw something at me and say, hey, I've got a better question than yours. But I don't think yours are. But so I'm gonna get on a personal level, if that's okay with y'all, okay? All right. So married?
Yes.
Married? Married? Married, okay.
Of course they are.
So what tends to happen is if you're listening to someone that has achieved something that you have not achieved, you tend to think, well, they have it better than me, or better, or you say stuff like this. Well, my circumstances are this, right? All right. So y'all can be as open and honest as you want, but have you and Jen ever, do y'all have stress? Y'all got in a fight or anything like that? Get to the microphone. And goes, y'all ever get frustrated with each other? You have problems and issues?
I think everyone does, but I think the difference with us, we voice it out. I have no problem saying what I got to say, and same thing for her, you know. And we do jujitsu. That's the time we can actually be physical with each other, you know.
I understand that you're saying that, but a lot of people look at y'all, this beautiful, cute couple, like, man, he's just got it made so easy. That's why he hits icon, because Jennifer's supporting him, and they've got no problems. Everything's rosy and perfect. Like you get home and dinner's ready, and you got to do nothing, right?
That'd be awesome.
No. My my point is this: everybody's got challenges, right? So please, as you're sitting there and you're hearing their answers and what they did and how they achieved, and anybody, for that matter, anybody that you see that has achieved great success, don't ever sit there and say, well, but my circumstances are this, and let me tell you where I'm coming from and the challenges that I have, right? Because when you do that, you shut off all learning capabilities. So anything they teach you will you won't learn it because you're saying, ah, man, if I could just be like Brandon, if my life was just as perfect as his. But you got challenges. Yeah. In fact, you voiced some this morning to me. Don't voice them as vulgar as you did to me, to everybody else. But just share. You had some challenges.
Yeah.
Tell us.
So last
Grab that
night
microphone.
So last night I got a termination on one of my listings, and I was counting everything up. I had 6 terminations in a span of 3 months. So that's 2 per month. You know how much that sucks, just being completely honest, and how much it brings me down in a sense. But I let myself feel like crap for about an hour, 2 hours, and some the next day. But at the end of the day, you got to look at the picture at hand. Like I have to help my client get what they need, which is to sell the house so they can get their profits. I also got to take care of myself too, my family. So I do have challenges, don't get me wrong, but I face those challenges, right? I let myself feel like crap for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I have a job to do. I got hired to do something, and also I have a duty to take care of my family. So, yes.
All right, pass the mic. So same for you. You're always smiling. Every life is so great for you. You've got no problem. Like when you were driving down the highway on the way here, people just got out of your way. Like they was like, here comes smiley, happy guy. Just get out of his way. We don't ever want to mess up his day because everything is perfect in your life. Am I correct?
And not only, but I try to set my expectation like everything is perfect. Me look at my life, look at my business too.
Uh-huh.
So I always try to be like optimistic, always be like positive as much as I can. But same as Brandon, I can share with you. So literally just yesterday about like 5 6 p.m. I was like super stressed out. We have like three contract with the buyer, we have three listing coming up, and suddenly with the buyer we expect, oh, inspection, everything is smooth, we get close, easy negotiation. But no, somehow all three buyer having problem with their roof, plumbing is all the major issues, right? And then, like, cost a lot of your time spending that talking to seller, listing agent to try to negotiate it. It's just so headache. And then coming up listing, we pick up like very like amazing, like over $1 million listing. So we're very excited to try to plan out for it. So it's just too much work at the same time, the same day at 6 p.m. Like, oh man, what am I do? And then actually yesterday is also like New Year holiday. You're supposed to be happy, go back to your home, talk to your wife, parents, right? Yeah. So like, what's going on? But then, I mean, just do one by one, just slow down. I was at Starbucks, try to think different solution, different option. Always, why I have to be straight out? I mean, it's gonna help me to go overcome all the situation. No, so just take one by one, one contract per contract, and just get it over it. And then I think about like 7, 8. I think pretty good. We're all the way driving from Fort Worth to Dallas, but I was happy listening to some music, the New Year music, just keep me positive. So you see, I'm always smiling.
Yeah.
But that's how it get me going.
Yeah. Give him a hand for that. Yeah, I like that. So just y'all bear with me, but I'm starting way down here because I want everybody to understand everybody's got issues. And what I love about all three of them is I've never seen them post on Facebook all the stuff they're going through, right? It drives me insane that people will post the crap they're going through and complain about their job. And then the next post, hey, I'm a realtor, use me. I'm like, are you not seeing the two? Like, they don't make sense. They're not adding up, right? But I've never seen any of these guys post anything like I just heard about this. Like I didn't even know you were going through that, right? But I can promise you, if you're breathing right now, you got challenges, right? All right. What about you, Gabe?
For me, yes. Personal life, me and my wife, we've been together for 23 years.
All right.
So
Yeah.
we met when I was in I went to the States. I came to the States and to get my bachelor degree, and I met my wife, and then she went to Seattle for university. So we were long distance for 4 years, of course, and then we met together back to here, Dallas, and then we've been together. Of course, we had a lot of fights for sure. I mean, everyone. I mean, right? I mean, because our personality is so different. Everyone is so different. And then to a point that we almost we're almost part ways, right? But thanks God, I'm a Christian, so thanks God, and then pull us together, and then 23 years. Now I'm father of three. I got an 11-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 1-year-old boy. Yeah. And then, so yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all have struggles, but for me, it's always go back to the Bible. I'm here to preach, okay? So be prepared, okay? I'm here to preach, okay? So for me, I mean, the thing is, I always believe that what God says, okay? The greater is He who is in me than who is in the world. So we have a God in us, okay? I'm not saying that you go out and tell people, hey, I have a great, the one in me is greater than you, man. No, don't say that. I'm not saying that you have to boast, or I mean say something weird because about that. But what I'm saying is you always have to believe in you. that, whenever there is struggle, when there, when you have like something, just like what they said, as a realtor, a lot of things happen. There are buyers, and the buyers will cancel on you, the sellers will cancel on you. I mean, things happen. Like I'm selling a house right now, and then I mean, because the buyer did the inspection on the plumbing, like it's all trashed and all that, and they're asking for so much, like $50,000 concession or something. And then of course my seller is not gonna give, right? So we've got to negotiate back and forth. You gotta make sure that you can, I mean, comfort the seller, and then you want to close the deal, right? So this is something that we all have to struggle. But the thing is, always remember that you need to have your peace, right? You always have to have your belief, because if you don't have it, I mean, I mean, just like what Paul said all the time, he hasn't read the news for so many years, right? 10 plus years, because, he wants to make sure, he has his peace inside him, right? So this is what I do all the time. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So they got challenges, they got issues just like everybody. They got to deal with stuff. It's not because Gabe is tall, he can just get everything he wants in life. Everything just works out for him because he's tall. You know what I'm saying? We've all got stuff, right? So let's talk about learning some things. Well, first off, I love what all of you said. Y'all stay calm during difficult situations. That's imperative. But they stay calm when everything around them is falling apart. It's kind of like a duck on water. Have you ever heard that analogy, a duck on water? Like a duck looks really, really cool and calm, but underwater he's cruising, right? So they just like a duck on, and that's how you got to be as a leader. That's how you got to be as everything for your family, for your friends, for everyone, especially your clients as well. Okay. So, did you set out at the beginning of the year and say, I'm going to be Icon? Was that?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not, how do I say this? I am one of those folks who like to accomplish things, and when I see a goal in sight, I have to go get it.
Yeah.
So I wrote down, not even, let me rephrase this. Yes, I wrote it down at the beginning of the year, but I also wrote it down weekly. So just to remind myself, and I physically write it myself, so it imprints into my brain to where I have this neural circuitry saying, hey, I am an icon agent, or hey, I am a great dad, or hey, I am a good partner, or whatever you want to say it. Um, there is key to writing things down, and for sure, I put my goals out there.
What about you? Same thing?
Pretty much, yes. So icon is always like the huge achievement that all the agent we're gonna achieve, all financial and also your kind of pride. But for us, we achieve icon, and also we have a team right now. So really, like every year, very important. We plan. We have business plan, goal for this year, what we can do better than the year before. Like what we need to do, how we can have all the team member grow, stay with the production because our main focus is the production, right? So we can make money, we can feed our family, so we can stay in the business longer, and we can help also like service more clients. So I think that all plan out is very important.
Gabriel, same for you. Did you plan? Did you say this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, I would say, I'll ask you guys, this question. So when I got into this business, do you know what kind of business you're in terms of the money you can make? Is it 5 figures, 6 figures? We're in a 7 figure business. So what we're saying is you can make at least 7 figures, right, in this business. What other business can you do? I mean, can get that high of the potential, right? The upside potential. So this is something that kind of fascinate me, right? For I guess for us. So this is something that you can definitely achieve. You can definitely do because we see that a lot of people they done that, you know. Yeah, so I guess just the perspective, the mindset. You gotta tell yourself, what kind of business you're in, what you can achieve, what you want to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember my first year, like I got into EXP and I learned about, hey, what does it take to be an icon? How many houses do I have to sell? All that stuff, right? I remember my first year, I was like, dang, how am I supposed to hit that, dude? Like, I cap out, now I gotta make another 20 sales all within 12 months. Bro, there's no way I'm gonna do that. But you put your head down, you get to work, and you slowly chip away at that number. That number became 20 to 19 to 17 to 15 down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm an icon, baby. Like it seems so far away, but if you constantly vision yourself doing it and you actually put in the work and not just wishy-washy, like, man, I want to be it, but I'm not doing crap about it, like you're not gonna hit it. So everything that we're doing, and even y'all too, like just keep doing it. Get better at your craft, get better at how you talk to your clients, know what you're doing, know what you're talking about, and people are gonna trust you. When people trust you, they're gonna do business with you. But before that, they have to like you as well. So who am I as a person gonna be working with my clients and I'm a bad person? Like you don't want to work with me. Like if I came to you and it was very disrespectful or I didn't even give you the time of the day, even though I have all this knowledge in my head, would you use me? No, because then how would you think my services are to you? So it's not just like I know we're talking about like production wise as well, but you also have to work on who you are in the inside because it all spills out into everything you do. So yeah. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, so real quick, the battle right now is getting Icon. That's the battle. That's the war we're up against is we want to hit Icon. They already have won the battle before they began. The battle's won before you begin. And they've all said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. They write it down, which I know for a fact 95% of the people do not. So I like I'll hear a lot of people this year, I know because it's New Year's. I'm on 10x this year. I'm on 10x. And they're just saying it. It's kind of weak, but they ain't writing it down. Like, how you going 10x? Like, what is 10x? You go 10x your income, you're going 10x your amount of wives you got, you're going 10x. What are you going 10x? Right? Quit saying you're going 10x. It sounds good. Cardone says it, it's cute, but what are you going to do? And these guys just described, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Anything you want to do in life, you got to write it down just like these guys are saying. Because they won the battle before the battle begun. They're gonna hit Icon, right? Y'all with me? So real quick. Finances, when you began in real estate, everything was rosy, you had tons of money, everything was great. Just a yes or no question. No? So-so? Okay, so we got a so-so, a no, and a no. So a lot of people, Katie, think immediately, well, I can't because I don't have enough money to do it. Money is never the object, and it never will be. You can have negative money. You can be in debt, and you can still win if you just decide like these guys are deciding, right? They're just deciding. So money isn't the object because we got two that said, yeah, money was a challenge, right? Money's money. But can you find a solution around it? John Maxwell says that there's not just one solution. Winners find two or three solutions, right? So they found solutions. We won't get into the solutions that y'all found, but it's imperative that everybody knows that even if they're going for icon status or going for that next goal, they're still doing the same thing that many are doing. Like, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And that can decide if you're going to win or not, because you got to get that out. Okay. So tell me, all three of you, not at the same time, please. What were some mistakes you made? Like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Like when you were starting your real estate career, or could you have done over? What mistakes did you make?
I think we made a lot of mistake, and then thinking right now, let me think.
Think
I
of some
think
mistakes that you wish other people wouldn't do. Like you're gonna tell them, like, don't do this. Don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
this.
I'll think that happened to me too. Because at the beginning, when we just got into real estate, very excited, want to learn a lot of different things, and we go to a lot of different events, Tom Ferry, Tony Robbins, things like that, and we listen to a lot of speaker. They have like ton of different idea, and all the ideas amazing. I mean, to be honest, yeah, they show their number, they show how they did it. Okay, we get excited. We love it. We love to do it. But then you can only do like few things at the same time. So I think I learned that just pick one or two that fit with you, but you have to do it. You have to execute it. Because if you think, oh, that idea is awesome, that agent will do video, open house, amazing, but you at the end that you don't do it,
Yeah.
you never make it. So rather you pick that idea, you stick with it, do it for 3 months, 6 months, and then you review the process. Were you successful with it, or what else you can improve? What your mistake, and you can go from there. Don't get like 10 different ideas at the same time. Try to do all of them. Maybe one, two, three max. Just do it, and then if not, you fail from that idea, move to the next one. But that's my mistake.
That's a mic drop. Like we could end right there. So many people are chasing so many things and learning, so getting so many certificates and getting this and getting that. But if there ain't no action behind it, it don't matter all that great stuff you learned. right? And that's basically, I mean, all the great stuff you learn, if there's no action behind anything, then what good's it gonna do you, right? Because I'm watching a lot of real estate agents. They crazy. They going here, they going there, they doing this, they doing that. I'm like, well, eventually y'all got work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at y'all work. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you're doing the same thing. You're looking up here, you gotta work. And thank you. What about you? Script.
I think one of the biggest mistakes I made was kind of boxing myself in a sense. What I mean by that is I didn't reach out to other agents
Mm.
to talk to and kind of network. Because every single one of y'all and every single one of us has something that we know that the other person knows that we don't know, and it could be an integral part to our business. I was so locked in with my group, I think, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna do this together, almost like a superior mind concept, whatever that was instilled, but really it was the wrong thing to do. Yes, you are your own competition, but everybody else in this industry, we're all here to help the public. We're all here to make our industry better, and we do that by connecting with more people. So don't be shy. Go talk to more people. You're going to learn something. The more you learn, the more you earn.
Another mic drop right there. So I know you're a newbie just like me, 1.5 years in business, right? Um, I I have a lot of people tell me, they go, you don't seem like a newbie, because I got all of these people to talk to, and they'll answer their phones and help me, and they do, every one of them. Like they'll talk to me, and so I don't sound like a newbie. Like I took out some of my friends this weekend and showed them houses all weekend. And they go, I can't believe you've only been doing this such a short amount of time, but you sound like you've been doing it for 20 years. I said, well, I got Scribner on my team, and he answers the phone when I need him. Y'all with me? So I mean, that's a mic drop right there, because just talk to ask somebody, like, how do you spell real estate? Write it down. Don't be shy, right? What is EO? What is this? I didn't know, understand all these acronyms that y'all have. Y'all got a lot of acronyms. Y'all don't play around with acronyms. And it's like, holy cow, what is that? And I'd have to email somebody. Mic drop. What about you, Gabe? What would you say was your biggest mistake?
For me, it would be follow up.
Okay.
Follow up.
Yeah.
Because I've counted like how many deals I mean I missed for not following up. Because a lot of times we're thinking, okay, I talked to you once, talked to you twice, maybe you have heard so many times. And then we're keep chasing the new deals. We're thinking, okay, forget it, you're wasting my time, I don't want to do this. But recently I just yeah, I just got one under contract. Is almost $900,000. Okay, just got it under contract in West Dallas. Followed up with the client 2 years.
Mm,
2 years.
nice.
And then finally they keep saying that, they keep testing them, like I would say twice, I mean maybe once in 2 months. And then they're saying that, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not interested. Blah, 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 blah. But then I keep testing them, right? They're saying not ready. Hey, when? I mean, right? When? I don't mind. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just keep following up. And then finally, yes, I mean, out of nowhere, and then they're saying, hey, I'm coming to Dallas. Okay, I want to look at houses. I want to buy. Hey, so quick, like just one day, boom, done. You like those clients one day, you don't have to show them that many, just one, two houses, boom, sign the contract, $900,000, here you go. So this is what I learned. I mean, follow up all the time, seriously, follow up, yeah.
So I was going to ask a strategic question about leads or follow up, or you
Yeah.
know, whether it's your sphere of influence, a lead, whether it's a lead that you purchased off Facebook, whatever it is. How many times would you say you follow up with those leads before they come to fruition?
Many years ago, I didn't follow up much. Like I followed one or twice, and then I was like,
Mm.
forget it.
Yeah.
I want to get a new deal. But now I just keep following up.
How do you follow up? What do you do?
I just keep texting them.
Yeah.
I just very simple. You don't bombard them like, oh, hey, you want to buy? You want to buy? You want to buy? You want to buy? No, I'm just saying, hey, how are you doing? How have you been?
Yeah.
We haven't talked for a while, but the market is picking up now. I mean, are you still in the market? Still thinking about buying? Or sometimes I'll just say, hey, I'm always here. I'm always here to help you. If you have any real estate needs, just let me know. I mean, if you have anyone who's looking to buy, looking to sell, just let me know. And it just be personal, right? Just be personal. Don't let them think that, you're trying to close the deal all the time, right? It's not gonna work, man.
What about you? How do you follow up?
So for us doing follow up is so Gabriel talking about the like potential buyer clients. So you follow up until they buy, right? Or until they, hey, do not text me, do not call me. That's how you follow up with the buyer, right? If you shy, oh, they're gonna not answer my phone or things like. Whenever you call them, just call, and you have some idea what you need to talk to them. But for us, the strength is follow up with our past clients, because the problem you have, let's say even you have 5 buyers, 5 past client, 10 past client, or you have 100 past clients, you keep chasing the new business, new clients, talk to new buyer, new seller, but you don't take care of your past client. You keep chasing new business, but you losing all the business you have, because the past client, they're going to refer new clients to you, their friends, family, or they end up buying bigger home or selling their home. So if you don't have like minimum like 3 times a year like personal touch, give them a call, send them a text message, just asking how's everything going, like how's your life, is everything okay with your house, is something that show your value, show your service. And I haven't seen a lot of different agents doing that. So if you're doing it, you're gonna convert, like create more business. Yeah.
What about you, Scrib?
To follow up on Alex's point, past clients are a gold mine, because they already know who you are. You worked with them before, and hopefully you did a good job to where they're very happy with your services. They're gonna recommend, they're gonna refer you out. Touch points is throughout the year. My coach says do 4, and honestly, 2 of them are kind of already easy for you. Their birthday. Everyone loves getting birthday text messages or videos, whatever, cookies and stuff, right? So that's already 1. The next best one is the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. So that's 2 out of the 4. Now you just have to plan something out for quarter 3 or 4, well, whatever, right? Whatever is that remaining 2 touch points it can be. And it could be as simple as, as they're saying, just give them a call. Hey, what's up? I'm driving. How many times do we drive on the road as realtors? A lot. Just go through your phone list. Like, you know what? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Just call them and talk to them, right? And you'd be surprised about the things that you learn. They'll share things about their kids, or maybe a family member is going through something. Like, those are personal touches that they don't necessarily tell strangers, but they feel some sort of way when someone's confiding in you with that information. So it automatically builds that trust. We are in a people business, a relationship business. Don't forget that.
Who in here's got people in their CRM? They're thinking right now, man, I gotta go call some people. I gotta call some people. Like, yeah. Ooh, what CRM do you use, Gabe?
Yeah, KV Core, but me now I would say is not just KV Core, because sometimes you can do a drip campaign, but I don't I mean under KV Core. But the thing is, I don't feel like it's very personal. So a lot of times, instead of using KV Core, but I would just like what I said, I would follow up, just text them, because you definitely have time. I mean, just stay on text, take you 1, 2 minutes, right? But always, I mean, sometimes text them, video message. Like today, I got a list because Chinese New Year. So the way I would do it is I'm gonna just show my, do a video text instead of just texting them like everyone's doing the same. You take a picture and then send it to everybody, right? The poster and all that, but it's not personal. So what I would do is, I would say their first name, last name, and then just wish them to about just 1 minute, right? Less than one, just send it to them. I mean, you have 100 clients, you do it for maybe 2 hours, but at least they know that you care. You still remember them, something like that.
What do you use?
So for me, this is my 6th year in real estate. I'm still using my own Excel spreadsheet for my CIM. So I mean, I tried different technology, KV Core, Real Gigs before, but I just realized that the most simple way you can pull up every day in front of your screen. You can look at it. You can see, oh, those are the clients you need to call. That's all. Because if you keep like, I mean, technology is good, but if you depend too much on technology, do it for you, and you don't do it, it's not on your schedule.
Yeah.
It never exists.
Yeah.
So if you don't have like 1 or 2 hours per day set to like, oh, I'm gonna call those people, I'm gonna call that people, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
So that's the minimum. I mean, any different system is great, but pick the one. Like me, I'll just create my own Excel spreadsheet and then follow it. Different clients, what day I need to call, who, and what kind of conversation I put a note to. So I know next time I call them, I can relate to that topic. It's not a random call. I know what I need to talk to them next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandon?
I use KV Core, also leverage my VA. So I'll have them go through my list and, hey, we need to contact X amount of people on this certain week. And then he'll set a reminder on my calendar, like, hey, go call X, Y, and Z. And I just call or text.
Yeah.
And then I send an audio message of what the call was about. and then he goes in my KV Core and just inputs whatever the notes were, and then I have that pulled up for the next time whenever that number pops up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, virtual assistant. Well, yeah, he'll set up like we have our calendar synced, right? So he'll put in, I have to call this person on this date, and it just pops up as a reminder. And he'll also send me a reminder on WhatsApp too. Hey, don't forget about this. I'm like, thank you, So leveraging my VA has definitely helped me take off a lot of things that we don't want to do admin wise, so I can focus more on my clients and getting back to what I do, which is generating business.
And real quick though, KV Core is powerful. I've worked in the medical industry, had some incredible CRMs in that world. I worked in the insurance and financial world, had some crazy, stupid CRMs. KV Core is no joke. That thing is massive, powerful, and it's only 85 bucks. It's included in our deal with EXP, which is just like, are you kidding me? I mean, that would cost alone $700 a month, and we get it included in our deal. And I'm with you. It's got to be the personal touch, but at the same time, I need that help. Like I need the things that KV Core will freak you out, and the amount of time you can spend learning about it. It's amazing. Yes, sir.
Brandon, so for your VA, I know you guys are syncing calendars. Do you have different calendars set up so that they're only seeing one part, and then maybe you put like your own events and tasks in the other one? Oh, you're just like full disclosure? Okay. So my other question is, like, let's say you have birthdays for your clients set up in your calendar, right? Are they actively going through it on like a weekly basis just to make sure there's nothing coming up soon? Is that what you're telling them?
So we've already got a list of all the birthdays.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I think it's for the other folks
For the
out
people
there.
online.
So I think during the first month or 2 months, I had him go comb out and find my clients' birthdays, and he inputs it in there and he syncs it to the calendar. Is that what you're asking? Like, and if we get new ones, we update it accordingly. But everything is already on my calendar, and he'll send me a reminder. Like this is almost embarrassing, but sometimes I need to get reminded twice. So it pops up on my calendar, and he hits me up on WhatsApp too. So it's like I'm hitting it. So we updated. We already did all the back work of getting everyone's birthday, and then when the new ones come, we'll just input it into, and it's a cycle. And plus, like we use KV Core too, to where it does send out a personal, or I'm sorry, it sends out the generic one as well. So now that's two touch points. Two touch points. You got an email from me, and then you got a phone call from me. So did I answer your question? All right, thank you.
So we need to wrap up real quick, but have y'all looked at the fast cap yet? Have y'all checked it out? The fast cap that EXP is doing? Yeah. No? Okay. So it's phenomenal. Carolyn's actually doing it today on my team, and I'm hearing just the most amazing things about it. And the cool thing about what we have here at EXP is they've given us everything we need knowledge-wise. Like it's all there. I mean, you could just spend days and hours learning and learning and learning, but you got to execute, right? And so EXP's got everything for us. Okay. Please understand that. They have spent so much time with EXP World and the money they've invested in that to make our jobs easier for us to get the knowledge. Okay. The main thing you have to have is confidence. And that's what these three guys have, is confidence. That's why they win. You're not going to win without confidence. Confidence comes internally. It's an internal thing. There's something internal in each of these guys that say, hey, I'm going to be icon. Like when I got here, I heard Luann's story. You shared Luann's story with me. And I was like, I didn't even want to come here and produce or do transactions. But I heard Luann's story. I said, you know what? Maybe I can, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. But maybe inside it'll stir inside me where I'm like, no, I'm going to be an icon, right? But it's not there. These guys say, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to be icon, right? So whatever you're doing in life, whatever you're seeking to do, please understand that has to come internally. And it's not a cocky or ego thing. Okay, be careful. Don't go to the other side. None of these guys came up here and said, y'all can't do what I do. I outwork you. I'm better than y'all. Did y'all hear them say that? No, they didn't say that. But inside they're saying, I'm going to win. I will win. I will find a way to win. The great news is EXP has given us all the knowledge and everything we need to possibly win. It's amazing what they have put forth for all of us. Like they've given us so much to succeed. But at some point, we have to go out and fail, make mistakes, implement. Gabriel, you failed a bunch of times. You failed a bunch of time out. We've all failed, right? We've all failed. And I'm glad to hear that, every one of them, like they've had challenges with their marriages. It's just not perfect at home for them and everything is rosy and fun. If you've been married 23 years, I can promise you, I'm right there with you. I'm about the same. Yeah, there's some challenges there. Like she doesn't agree with me all the time, and that's frustrating. Right? Does that make some of y'all mad? It's like, come on, man, I'm right. I know I'm right. Pay attention to what I'm saying to you. I'm kidding. So, but please understand, if you've got struggles in there, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you got to go out and win. You got to go out and get a victory for your family. That comes inside of you. And I think the only way it will come inside of you if you just keep hanging out with everybody. If I just keep hanging out with a script, if I just keep hanging out with people that are making it, I promise you, everything inside me will elevate. If I sit at home and do all Zooms and don't show up to anything and hang out with great people, it ain't going to happen. It's just not. But if I continue to hang around Daniel, every time he does the explain, every time he shows this thing, I get more and more excited. Like every time he shows this explain to me, David, I'm like, I'm going to join up. Oh crap, I already did. Right? Like I want in again, right? Because I'm excited about it. It fires me up. That wouldn't happen if I wasn't sitting here in the room with him. Y'all with me? So give these guys a hand real quick. Y'all grab a seat. So we're going to have Daniel come up and do the explain. He showed this to me about a year ago, and I just got my real estate license. And when he was explaining it to me, I was like, oh dear Lord, we can create a lot of things with this opportunity. Like 7-figure, I think it's 8-figure when you see what he does. Like it's 8-figure when you start building a team. I think it's 7-figure if you're out there personally doing transaction, but it becomes an 8-figure gig if you're doing, I built something very similar to this in insurance, and I sold my company for 8 figures. I promise you, I assure you, you can do the same here. There ain't nothing special about me. But I looked at what Daniel showed me. I said, I want to go for it. Okay. So please do me a favor. Y'all need to stand up anyhow. Stand up and let's give Daniel Inga.
Check, check, check. 1, 2. Check. Hello. Testing. 1, 2. Ooh, all right. Hello. Try this. All right. Test. All right. Let me shut that one off. Okay, perfect. Check, check, check. Okay. All right, what am I on? Make sure the Zoom is good. We're good. All right, I know you guys have probably seen the explain many, many times. I've explained it to you before. It's like muscle memory, right? Why are we here? We have, a lot of great leaders here today. And, Paul, thank you very much for keeping us accountable, having our Wednesday meetings together in person versus just having it on Zoom. Our network, we talk about your network is your net worth, right? Who you surround yourself with, who you bring together. And I'm glad to meet new people. We have some missionaries that from India also attending, joining us today, and I'm going to share kind of their story and how we met and how our families have crossed path, and I'll have them share later today too if you guys have time to listen. What's our mission of our group, right? Connecting us together, creating our wealth, creating our community, and creating that legacy, right? That's the 3 pillars that we are working to create, and not just 10 people. We have a vision of 10,000 partners globally coming together and bringing wealth and this experience and expertise bringing to the table. So, we know that, our founder back in 2009 created a platform. We understand, he was trying to find a solution. So when we share this model of EXP and what we were building with it, we share that, Glenn Sanford found a solution. And we share, our little virtual world, right? So usually, typically, when I go through this program, we share that, he created this little video game. That, that's how we operate in this little video game where the 2,500 employees work for us. So instead of you working for a broker, the brokerage actually, the platform works for us because it is truly a platform. So if we want to get into that little virtual world. So when was the last time, has anyone gone to the virtual world past 2 weeks? Okay. Cal, when was the last time you went? Okay. It's important to leverage, so yesterday I was actually in the world speaking and kind of sharing about commercial. We had 100 people in there, right? You have to know what you're a part of and, quickly go over, like, if you haven't been 2 years ago, we're no longer a software. It's cloud-based, so it's just the browser. You don't have to download the software anymore, okay? So you can use your phone. So, when you share this, you share that this is the operations. This is how we operate. This is how we can talk to people. This is where you go for support. So, there's so many classes. So if you're in Texas or in India, our company's in India, we could build a real estate team to support, our team in India if we wanted to. This is how we operate. You got a live receptionist that's here. Typically, it's Holly. Holly, we'll say hi to Holly. And, your brokers are here waiting for you to run. Your brokers are here live waiting for you. You have to understand the power of the metaverse. You have to understand the power of these W-2 employees work for you. They're there to service you. We're the clients, right? So that is the power of the virtual world. And, so I share that. And, by understanding that we're not a franchise. So yesterday I was on a call with a commercial franchise company, SVN. They wanted to recruit me to buy a franchise. So I scheduled a call just to understand, I wanted to see if they're changing anything. Maybe they're giving some equity now to the franchise owners. No, same thing. It's a franchise. And the person that was trying to talk to me couldn't fathom, like, how could we grow? Because all they knew was a franchise model. And she really could not tell me something negative in a sense. The only thing was she was intrigued, of the model. And all I said was, well, it takes leadership. You can have the best platform in the world, but if you don't have leaders, just like our organization, we can have the best building here, but we don't have leaders coming together, it doesn't matter. So same thing with what we're building in EXP. If you don't have strong commercial leaders, it's not going to grow. So it takes time. So we need to build our leaders within the group. And that's what I kind of shared with her. I said, we're still about 4 years on the commercial side. We're still a startup. But on the residential, it's not a startup. It's 15 years. We're the largest independent brokerage in the world. We have 90,000 agents. We get to own it together, so that's what I shared. And she actually wants to reschedule to understand. I said, if you have any questions and you want to understand the competition more, please, I'll share everything's open book. We're a publicly traded company, so kind of the timeline of the growth of the company. We are publicly traded in NASDAQ in 2018, and just kind of the growth of the company is here. So currently in 27 countries, this is an older chart. And what does this mean to you? When I look at India, and I have friends from India, they have a real estate agent. They know a real estate agent. Their family knows a real estate agent. That's the connection. We're in Israel, we're in Dubai, we're in Europe, we're in Australia. Everyone has a connection. It's whether you want to leverage that connection. You want to make that connection to grow your team because we're one company. You're not buying a franchise. When you're in the ecosystem, all you're doing is making those connections. So kind of that global expansion, being the largest independent brokerage on the world. Yes, Remax probably has agent count more, but they're all franchise offices. We're one company, so I have to stress to understand the differences from a franchise versus one company. We can pivot faster. Like if we want to implement one software, it goes right away. If we want to take it away, we'll take it away. But that's how fast our company can operate. Healthcare, because we are one corporate company in the U.S., we have healthcare at a discount. I've moved my healthcare plan here. We've used it. My wife had a stroke in November. She's used it. Deductible was 1,000. I can share with you the experience of that and the cost savings that it comes with. Is it perfect? No, I don't think any insurance plan is perfect, but at the same time, is you can kind of see, but there's a cost savings. So, first public real estate company to offer equity. We own it together. It's your branding. This is kind of the growth I kind of share. And what do you get? Commercial, we get different tools. Residential, you get different tools. We do. Someone mentioned KV Core. Alex spreadsheet is great, but if you really want to scale it, you really need to leverage certain CRM systems. Follow Up Boss is great. KV Core is great. You need to figure out what's a good system, and if you're able to program your Excel and do that, that's great too. But at the same time, is that where you're training your team to also use Excel? If that works, that's great, as long as you're using it, right? Technology is good only if you use it. So, but at the same time, is we're getting it. It's a part of our, tech fees. We should learn it, right? So maybe next time we have someone train on it, how to use it, how to leverage it. Maybe it's more powerful than Excel. Maybe it's more user friendly than Excel. I don't know, right? So maybe someone can take a look at that. So we're one company. You get to grow your business as a real estate entrepreneur. You own it together. You can build your community, the innovation of the model, and of course the financial freedom of this model. So of course we have our university in the cloud. You have a mentorship. We have mastermind groups. You got the broker support that's there every day, even 7 days a week, where there's a hotline, there's a text. You can text your brokers. This is kind of the commercial, what we get on the commercial side, and this is most of you guys are residential. Well, guess what? By sharing this model to a commercial broker, we actually can help them save money. Because I can guarantee you, if they have every single thing here, they're probably paying about $2,000 a month. We package it down to 500. So there's a cost savings there right away as an independent broker. My CoStar used to be $1,000 a month, just CoStar, but then, they were able to discount it to 600. But now with 250, I get to save extra money. So, Resi-Mercial. So our group is very unique because we do have a lot of Resi-Mercial agents. Typical groups in EXP that are pure residential, so they have no commercial component. So I think that's a value prop that you guys need to share too. There is a commercial component where people can learn, they can connect. We have different events going on. So how do agents get equity? When was the last time you checked your little stock portfolio? Yesterday? Okay. So every year you do a transaction, you get $200 worth of stocks. When you cap, you get 400. When you bring on an agent directly, when they do their first transaction, you get 400, right? So, Mike Sherrard, I think he brought in 200 something directly times 400. So you just have to look at the value of having ownership that the company is able to give. This optional program, you can take 5% of your commission, buy it at a discount at 5%. 65% of the agents are enrolled in this. It's optional. You don't have to, if you're investing your money somewhere else, that's fine. But I'm just sharing that that's a value prop as well. Icon Awards. Earlier, we had our icons come up, right? Stocks go up and down, right? But if you're at another company like a Keller Williams, Remax, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, there's no equity. You don't own any of that office, unless you have some partnership with the broker owner. But then you have to operate. The company issues stocks to you by just producing. Okay. Same thing on the commercial side. And how are we getting the stocks? So by hitting your goals, hitting that top producer, the certain mark, you get 8,000 right away. When you coach or be a team leader or being a mentor, you get 4,000. And by going to two uh, uh, approved events at EXP, those are each worth 2,000. So that's the 16,000. That's where that comes from. So going over the math, everyone should know that everyone's on the same plan. We're all 80-20 split, $16,000 caps. There is a team structure and there's a mega icon team structure where this cap could go lower, but you're paying your team leader a team leader split. But everyone that's independent, that's what that is. $85 a month is your cloud broker's fee. You get KV Core, you get Regis, you get Canva Pro now. Who set up their Canva Pro? Canva Pro? Canva Pro is our marketing flyer. So Canva, have you used Canva before? You start need Canva. No, Canva Pro. So have you okay. But from EXP. Okay. You get it for free. It's part of your tech package now. They've also adding another thing later on. Workplace is another tool that we get, but Workplace is going away because Meta has decided to not support that technology or that app that they built in 2026. So I think they announced we will be using Slack Pro. I don't know much about Slack. I've used it a little bit. Is it going to improve? Hopefully they're going to improve because they're going to have 90,000 people get on this platform. So hopefully new technology, new updates will be happening, and that'll be the new technology to communicate throughout the company. Those are commercial splits. So now, if we're a 80-20 splits, what does that mean? You give the company 20%. What is if we're cloud based, we don't need brick and mortar. Where does that money go? Well, half of it goes to revenue share, and it's what we call the rev share pool. The other half goes to the company. We talked about stocks. So these 3-4 icons, where's that money coming from? It's coming from the company dollar. They allocate funds to buy the stock and give that back to the agents. So in a sense, almost 75% of the company's revenue goes back to agents' pockets. That's why EXP cannot do like a lot of advertising. They don't do big events because that comes from their profits. So brokers, you saw all those people with 2,500 people working in the cloud. Guess what? That comes from the company dollar, and we have a net profit because we're the only real estate company publicly traded that has zero debt. So sustainability. So a very strong financial sustainable company. So how does this 20% or half of the 20% get paid out? It gets paid out in 7 levels. Well, some people look at, well, is this a multi-level company? No, because it goes 7 levels because it's shared. The company shares the revenue 7 levels, and so you have people that bring you into the company, introduce you, and there's leaders helping you along with your career, right? So everyone's kind of getting, that's why it's called rev share. So going back to this, very simple. If you're producing and you're paying 16,000, half of that revenue, which is 8,000, gets shared 7 levels. So 7 people above you get paid part of that 8,000. So when you look at if I want to grow yourself, so you're growing, you're doing production or not, it's up to you. No one's gonna force you to do production. But if you bring on Sally is in New York. Sally's what we call your tier 1. Well, guess what? She's also a producing agent. She's not new in the business. She's a person who is doing, $250,000 in commissions. We know that she's what we call a capping agent. So the calculation is 8,000 times 17.5%. you get $1,400. Immediately, Sally introduces her friend Tom. Tom's out in Florida. We're not licensed in Florida, right? I'm not licensed in New York, but you can grow in those markets right away because the company is all 50 states. Tom is also a producing agent. He caps 8,000 times 20% is equal to 1,600. Immediately, Lisa comes in. She's your tier 3. She's a producing agent. 8,000 times 12.5, that's 1,000. So now the math of growth is this. If you brought in 12 people, those 12 people are serious in the business. They're producing. They want to make, because by production you feed your family. By production, right? And they're already in the real estate industry. A lot of these other companies I've seen is they're recruiting new agents, right? And they're trying to figure out if they can make it or not. You're talking to people who are already in the industry. We're actually helping them save money because they're probably paying $20,000 to $30,000 in the other company. We're actually a little bit less at the same time they get to own it, right? So we're providing solutions. So 12 times 1,400, that's 16,800. That covers your cost. If you're paying 16,000 to the company and you're not an Icon agent, that immediately helps you cover your cost. Second is if these 12 people, these 12 partners of yours grow 10 people each, that's 120 people. 120 people times 1,600 is $192,000 cash, not stocks. Immediately, if every 120 just got one friend, that's another 120,000. So you have a potential revenue of 328,800 annually. So the big component for me is, as an investor, if I wanted to have a net income of 328,800 and at a 6% return cap rate, I would have to save cash $5.4 million to buy a property. So you take it in a different perspective. Are you going to save $5.4 million? Right? You might have an asset, you might have, equity or asset, but are you able to save that much to just go buy a property just to, have a return? Right? Very, very few. Right? So you have a business opportunity for growth because people are already in the industry. There's a lot of people looking for a community. A lot of people who want to be part of a they like our leadership. That's what they're attracted to. When I started 4 years ago, we had 3 people. It was myself, Calvin, and Judy, right? So if you've been here 3-4 years, you've seen the growth. You've seen the leadership grow. So we already set the foundation now, past 4 years. Now it's really going to take off. We're about 250 people. We can double that easily. If everyone brought one person, that's 500. So you got the compounding effect. Lucia's reading a book, I think, called Building an Empire. If you got 5 people that got 5, that's 25. Those 25 people got 5, that's another 100 and something. When it goes to 600, so just the compounding effect of the 5 from 600 times 5 is already 3,000 something in the 5-year period. So they teach this, right? And it's up to you. So another thing is why when we say legacy, so in our mission statement, we have legacy. What does that mean? When God takes me home one day, what happens to this? It's willable to my family. My position is willable. So they will continue to have the revenue if people are producing. And of course, for me, it's the people here, their kids. If you have kids, I want my kids to have a network of leaders, a network of whatever they want to do, right? If we wanted to do more charity work, if we want to do more mission work, that's the opportunity we can do together. Because if you imagine 10,000 people, that's a powerful group. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be just real estate. You can be raising money. Of course, we're here doing real estate. You can raise more capital. We can do more fundraising if we wanted to support whatever charity that we were supporting. I know that some people have kids that are doing Girl Scouts, so we see them, raising money for their kids, and then their kids are calling us, like, Uncle Daniel, can you help me, fund me $20 for this, Girl Scout. So that's the environment we're creating as well. So it's not just real estate. So this is very powerful because that's only tiers 1, 2, and 3. We go down 7 levels. So by just doing this, and like if if you're a Christ follower, you saw Jesus had 12 disciples. Those 12 have grown worldwide, globally. So similar concept, right? Same thing, but people already in real estate. There's 1.8 million realtors. We have a better platform for them so they can have ownership, they can build their team. They're no longer bound by a territory. Because when I bought my franchise, guess what? I am in Plano. I couldn't open an office in Frisco because there was another office there. So that's what a franchise does is actually bounds you to a small territory. Where EXP is global, you can, really the sky's the limit. So that is pretty much it. Last year events, we have a lot of leaders stepping up. Lori was doing a gun safety training with a group. We have our Friendsgiving, so we do a lot of events. So for those that missed out, you probably had a lot of FOMO, you know. So just come to our events. This was a Latino group doing events. This was EXPCon. We had our leaders come. That's our Glenn Sanford. So these young entrepreneurs got to meet our founder, our billionaire founder, just because he just wanted to create a solution, So my goal is important to the younger people, people trying to get into the business, making sure that they have the right mindset and, having Paul in our group, sharing, getting their mindset, getting them plugged in. So that's what I share pretty much every day. I share this model to a lot of people. I probably shared this to 1,000 people. Someone asked me how many times have I really shared this platform, and I didn't really think about it. I should have a CRM and but I think I've shared this over 1,000 times. So leverage me, leverage my time. Every Wednesday right now, we're going to be explaining this model. Afterwards, I can go over more in depth if you invite a friend. But today, we have a special guest from India, and I would love to introduce Reverend Christopher Boda and his wife, kind of sharing, their ministry in India. And, we got connected 15 years ago because my mother's Sunday school teacher in Hong Kong connected us. Doris Eggblatt, she is originally, I think, from Wisconsin, but was a missionary in Hong Kong. So she's a, white lady that speaks Cantonese better than me. And it's just funny because she's just, and very, deep Cantonese, just like a lot of slang and all that. So just amazing. So, I wanted to kind of give Chris a little bit of time, just kind of share the ministry. Not here to get you guys to donate, but really to know what they're doing. You might have a friend that would love to connect them with. They're here till February 5th, and they go back to Oklahoma for a conference, and they'll come back and they fly back out back home February 10th. So, another thing with Mr. Reverend Broda was we donated a laptop 15 years ago. Well, guess what? He's still using that laptop 15 years ago. So, they're from if you understand from India, there's a class system. They're, I guess, the gypsies. Yeah. Local gypsies. And it's very hard to make it in the society. So they've had over thousands of orphans, and they do training. They have a church program for them, and then they also teach them nursing and stuff like that. So let me have you come up and share. And I think I have your website up. Let me pull that up. So no problem. Thank you. Oh, sure, I can use that. But you can use that, yes.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm Christopher Boda. This Doris, a missionary from Hong Kong. She is from originally Wisconsin. I and my wife met 2000 in Wisconsin. She said, I have a lot of friends in Hong Kong. Why don't you go there? And then I went one time in Hong Kong and I spoke. And he's his grandfather gave some money to build the church, and I built the church and inaugurated on their name plate. So after that, see, Doris Ekbal, she is from Wisconsin. She said, why don't you go to the Texas? So 2009, I came to Texas and stayed in their house 15 years ago for 4 days. And then I went back India. 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years, Indian government. Indian 10 years, I didn't get the visa. Not visa, sir, license. They canceled my license to get the foreign aid. Not only me, there are 25,000 organizations. They canceled the visa license to get the foreign aid. So I was just shut down my orphanage. I used to have 1,200 orphans in my orphanage, and me and my wife were looking after them. I just want to share quickly how I came to know. So this is my life story. This is my book, life book. Um, but I don't know. This is my village, my father village. My father house, this one. And for the online. Okay, thank you. Um, so my mother went to the wilderness to carry some firewood, and she gave me birth on muddy road. So I was literally born in the mud. I was born in the mud. My mother came and she cut after 3 hours, I was wriggling on the muddy road. She cut the belly cord hanging with 2 rocks. And she brought me home and feeding me, and I was starving for food. My father cannot feed. I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters. They all are slaves to high caste. We have caste systems in India. My father is tall, and hear me, I'm naked for 3-4 years. So this American, not Indian missionary came to my village and she said, why don't you, he was preaching to gospel to my village. And my father said, don't tell anything about God. You feed my children, we are starving for food. So he said, I'll take 1 or 2 children. Then he took me and my 2 brothers and gave the admission in this boarding home. And there I got my little short and shirt. And then I used to go to the school. They gave me a new name. My Hindu name is Kishan. They gave me Christopher. And then I was Christian, but not a born again Christian. I used to go to the church. And one day when I was in high school, I used to play soccer, Indian football. So one boy came and hit here to my right leg, and it was injured, and I cannot walk. It was bleeding. Then I went to the hospital, mission hospital, and there I admitted for 6 months. And this Indian doctor gave me gospel to me, and he said, why don't you accept Jesus? You have been here more than 6 months. Now I have to amputate your leg from the knee. And I said, I don't know. My father told not to worship Jesus. And then I was staying hospital. Finally, 3-4 days later, I have to cut off your leg from the knee. Then I went to the restroom and I just prayed, Lord, please help me. I cannot walk, I have scratches. And I prayed and asked Jesus, please help me. Then I accepted Jesus Christ as my personal savior. And then my wound was cured and I was completely cured. Here is my wound here. So I went to my father's house after 12 years. I didn't go to my father's house. So I am not able to recognize him. And he said, we are going to Hindu temple to worship Hindu gods. I said, I am Christian missionary. I want to be a missionary because God healed my leg and I don't want to go. Then everybody was going by train to Hindu temple to worship Hindu god. And in the running train, I jumped from the train because I don't like to go and worship Hindu god. Then after 3-4 days, they went to Hindu god and saved their hairs, offered their hairs and came back. And they are drinking alcohol, and they tied me between 2 poles, and they tortured me for all the night, from evening to night. And in the midnight, after midnight, my mother came and cut my ropes. I was bleeding everywhere. She said, your father will kill you, run away, go away from your father house. I cannot see you. Then I walk away from my father house and I was sleeping in a railway station. This American missionary from South Carolina, this man came and I was dying. He took me to the hospital and I stayed in his house. Then after that, he said, stay in here, I'll give you, I take care of you, you stay in my house. Then my father, brothers are looking for me, searching for me to kill. So I went to the village to village preaching gospel. And this, my would-be wife came with their parents and they said, you have to marry this girl. And then I said, I am Christian, I cannot marry, you can give to somebody. And she said, nobody will marry. She was arranged when you was small boy. And now she's 16, 17, now you have to marry. I said, I'm Christian, I don't have money to feed myself, I cannot marry you. And she has no other option because she was given to me, arranged for me. So finally I said, here is the Bible, you please read and accept Jesus, then I will marry you. She first said, I don't want your Bible and your God. Finally, she has no other option. She took Bible and read. 1 year later, she accepted Jesus Christ, and we both had a wedding in the church. And this suit I borrowed for hire for a couple hours. Then we started ministry like this, and sleeping on floor, mat, and having light, no light, Petronas light, kerosene light, and we started preaching gospel every day. And I don't have any training. Then I went to the Baptist college for 5 years, and she also studied 4 years. We both graduated from this college, and I was so want to preach the gospel for my people. My people are 150 millions in India, and there are 64 countries my people are there. All over the world, 64 countries. Gypsies are everywhere in Europe, even in United States, but our language and their language same. But in India, we are gypsies and we are slaves. And my girls will sell for the prostitutes, boys sells for the cut of Hindu idol gods. So it's a very horrible our life. So I was crying for my people to save. So I was preaching gospel after graduation. And then my principal of the theology seminary, this principal said, stay, be a pastor for this church. Then I was pastoring this church for 2 years. Then me and my wife, we both decided to go and start the ministry among my people in my language. And we organized BTM, Banjara Tribal Ministries in India. And I was preaching, giving training the Bible school. And 10 people, 10 after 10, 10 after 10, every year, 1 year training. And I established 72 churches now. And we have more than 9,000 believers among tribal people. It's a long story. So then I am trying to come United States, meeting different people, raising sponsors and funds, and building the, bought the 10, 11 acres land. And we want to build the orphanage, and we built the orphanage. And my wife went to the railway station. She brought 5 children to feed them. I said, I don't want to feed the children. That is not my call. I want to be a missionary, preach the gospel. And she said, they are dying, we can feed them. So I said, okay, only 5 children, no more. And after 1 week, she brought another 5 more children. After 1 week, she brought another 5, 25, 50, 100, 200, so many years. And there are more than 1,000 children. So they are everywhere. People are begging, dying, orphans, and she has big heart, and I'm struggling to go to states and raising some sponsor, $15 that time and $20. Now after 8 years, I was shut down. All my orphan children, they went because government, Indian government cut down our license not to get American money or any foreign money. So I was trying and applied. Finally, after 9 years, they came and inspected my accounts, and they said they are not doing any religious activities. They are feeding children, giving good education. Then they saw all my accounts and clear. Then they gave me again 1 year ago. They gave me license to get the foreign aid. So I came after 9 years to states to raise some sponsors and some help for my ministry. And I'm inviting Daniel can come once again, once our country and my ministries to see, so that way it is big blessing for us. This is all widows. After in India, in my tribal people, once their husband die, they cannot marry, they cannot remarry, so they stay long like that only. So widows are there. This is my nursing school. We have 23 years ago, we started nurses training, licensed nurses training, and we have nursing school and college also. Every year we have more than 100 students will come get the education, and government will pay little money and students will pay some money, and after training they can go anywhere in the world and they can settle. So, but during the stay, 3 years, 4 years, 4.5 years, we give them gospel morning and evening prayers are there, and almost all 100% all these nurses and children's orphans are Christians. So this is we do the public meeting also. And this is my family. I have one son. He's 38, 39 years. He's a pastor now. He's a 6'3" height, and his wife and his daughter, 9 years daughter, and my daughter, she's a doctor. She's orthopedic bones doctor, and she has 2 children, 5 years old and 2 years girl. And she is the last youngest one. She is also doctor for forensic. She's doctor. She came in Mississippi to study Mississippi University for 2 years and met some people, and then their host family connected to the Oklahoma, and Oklahoma people, I came through them to Daniel house. So this is our connection, and I'll be staying here another 10 to 12 days and meeting some people and looking some connections. And if you know anybody and to help this orphanage, and you are, please take some my books and this is my brochure, ministry brochure. We have to do a lot of repairs, building repairs, and this is our orphanage, and we want to do painting, buying the tables. All children are sleeping on floor, and we are also looking for some sponsors. You can have each one brochure, and if you want, you can also take the book. It's free. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And someday I want to see you, some of you, and in India. This is my Bible. I love my Bible. You people have a lot of versions, Bibles, but in my language, this is the only one Bible. Me and my team spent 12 years to translate this Bible, and we don't have Bible. So Bible Society of India, we gave the printing, and they gave me one copy last December 5th. They gave me one copy samples. So we are looking some funds to print the Bible. One Bible cost is $5. There are 150 million people have no Bible, and no Bible in the phone, no Bible in computer. So we are praying for this project also. I just want to remind you and take this brochure. I have brochure and books. If you want, you can take. I brought a lot. I don't have any connections. Even Sunday, 2nd February and 9th February, we are looking and praying for some churches. If I can speak 10 minutes, and then people can know each other and pray for us and help us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Could you take Bibles that are in English, home with you?
No, my people are 86% are illiterates, but still 150 million, and they cannot read English. They can read and write only in Banjara language, my language.
Thank you. Yeah, so if there's any connection, so, I wanted to invite them to our meeting just because, they only have a limited time here in Dallas. So if there's any connections for just making more connections, please, connect with them. And, we do plan to go there and help as a family. And, this is something that, if that's a calling that you have, or, the main thing is making more connections. So like with We Partners Network, like I mentioned, when we have thousands of people, there's so many different things that we can do to build our community, help society, not just locally, but globally. So thank you for sharing and sharing your story. Like I said, I met them 15 years ago and going to be supporting. I'm going to get them a new laptop. I was really surprised seeing that. And of course, they had repairs, and in India they have all these little parts. I was like, how's a battery last that long? But they don't build it like they do now. Like it's different back then, maybe. I don't know. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions about the platform of VXP, if you're in real estate or wanting to understand, how can you grow, you gotta you gotta know what you want, right? So you gotta know what you want, and you gotta go from there. So thank you, Paul. All right, thank you.